The NBA is a month into the unprecedented 2021 season, and through COVID scares, postponements, crazy trades, and more, some teams have found ways to rise above while others continue to struggle. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Lexy Leidlein, joined along Hunter Pitcoff and Matt Szczypiorski, and tonight we will be discussing their first impressions of the 2021 NBA season. So gentlemen, which teams have impressed you the most so far?
So, Matt, hear me out here. The Los Angeles Lakers are what Lil Wayne was back in the mid-2000s, okay?
Okay.
Lil Wayne, most dominant rapper. No one was even close to him. Everyone's just competing for second at this point, and I think that's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers this year. They are top three in both offensive and defensive rating across the league. They have gotten better since last season. They are more explosive. Anthony Davis hasn't even played well. He has even said himself he's played like a word that I can't say on television, but he's called himself out. I expect him to get better, and of course, this little guy right here too. He's going to be pretty good also. Let's not forget about him, one of the greatest players of all time. So the team that's been most impressive, of course, is a team that's the best in the NBA.
Well, I'll agree with that, Hunter. The Lakers have been very good so far, but I raised your homer pick with my homer pick. The Philadelphia 76ers have been just as good. They are 12-5, leading the top of the Eastern Conference right now. They're coming off a 2-game sweep of Boston. Doc Rivers has been a great addition to this team, to this coaching staff. He's been coaching this team through victories that they would not have had last year. And then you look at guys that are stepping up. Shake Milton, Dwight Howard off the bench. Tyrese Maxey is a great rookie for this team. Seth Curry being a great shooter for this team, over 50%. Joel Embiid, though, has been the main story of this team. He is the MVP front runner right now. 27.7 points per game, 11.5 rebounds, and he's shooting over 40% from three.
Yeah, I agree. The 76ers have been impressive to me so far. I didn't realize that the changes they made would pay off so quickly, and I'm curious to see if these changes will continue to pay off through the rest of the season. Now that we have discussed the top teams, let's flip it to the bottom. There's been a handful of teams who have gotten off to slow starts, but which ones do you think will rebound?
Well, Lexi, I've been disappointed in the Dallas Mavericks so far. They've kind of underperformed right now. They're 8-8 and currently good for 9th in the West. That's not good enough. That's not where they need to be. However, they have missed Kristaps Porzingis, who missed the first part of the season. Josh Richardson's been in and out of the lineup, but Luka Doncic has been fantastic. With Luka and Porzingis getting back together, hopefully they'll be a good tandem once again. Porzingis will make them better defensively as well, which is good. But for the Mavericks, they've just been underperforming so far. They've been losing teams they should not lose to. They had a 16-point loss at home to the Chicago Bulls, which is embarrassing. Luka Doncic, he's going to keep putting up those numbers, but they need those role players to step up.
I'm with you, Matt. I thought the Mavericks, I had them as a number 2 seed entering this, and I had Luka for my MVP pick. So he's going to have to play like an MVP in order to climb up back the rankings. But I'm going to look at a team that faced off against the Lakers in the NBA Finals, and that's the Miami Heat. Similarly how Porzingis missed games, Jimmy Butler has only played in 6 games. I can count that on 2 hands. He's going to be back. He's going to be out with a vengeance. And Bam Adebayo has been amazing this season. We saw him what he did last season, even better. Tyler Hero's gotten better. Duncan Robinson's gotten better. Now, look, they need to figure out the 4 position. Losing Jay Crowder, they shouldn't have let that happen. He should be back with the Miami Heat. But they got to probably make a trade or find some sort of move to fix that position. They've not been as good defensively either, but I trust Jimmy Butler. I trust Eric Spoelstra, of course, to figure it out. And I think Miami, they'll be climbing back toward the top of the East.
I can understand why you would choose the Heat, Hunter. Right now, they currently sit almost at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, but their talented players like Butler and Hero will help pull the team up and out of the bottom. Now, looking ahead, is there a team currently in the playoff picture that you think will drop out?
Well, I don't like overreacting to the start of the seasons because things are always going to change. And while I think the Heat are going to get in, I'm sorry to say I think the Cavs are going to be the ones getting bounced out. Now, got to give him credit. Colin Sexton's been nutty this season. This dude has been absolutely hooping, and I've been kind of a Colin Sexton hater. He's making me eat my words a little bit, so I apologize, Colin Sexton, in the event you're actually watching this. But I respect the trade. When they were also in that James Harden trade being the Cavs. They got Jared Allen and Taurean Prince from Brooklyn. Both those guys are just really solid players that they can help build along. Andre Drummond, of course, is a double-double machine. But I just think that they're still kind of young, and I think some of those teams that aren't in the playoff picture in the East are going to climb up, and I just think the Cavs are going to be the ones, left out.
I agree with that, Hunter. I think the Cavs are probably going to start slipping soon. But another team I'm looking at in the Eastern Conference is the New York Knicks. They have the #1 defense in the league right now. I don't know if that's going to hold up, but Tom Thibodeau has made great dividends, great changes over there in New York. RJ Barrett, I'll eat my words there. He's really starting to take off. He's really starting to come into his own. But Emmanuel quickly has really impressed me. I don't know if he can keep that up. He probably should be starting eventually over Elfrid Payton at their point guard. But he's been really good off the bench. He had 31 last night. And of course, you look at Tom Thibodeau, this team, what's the one thing with Tom Thibodeau that is persistent no matter where he's gone? He overplays his players. He's got these guys playing 36, 37 minutes a game. I just don't know if they're going to be able to hold that up. And when it comes to playoff time in April and May, during that crunch time, and I just don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to that Eastern Conference playoff spot.
I agree with you, Matt. The Knicks' young players just don't have enough experience to carry them all the way to the playoffs. All right, let's hear your bold predictions for the season.
Well, Lexi, my bold prediction is that the Brooklyn Nets will not make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. I know the new trio of Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant is new, and they're still trying to work out the kinks offensively, but offense has not been their issue, Hunter. Their issue this season has been defense, and that was before James Harden even got there. You add James Harden to that mix, and you let go of Jared Allen, who was probably their best defender on defense, and you add James Harden, who's not a good defender at all. That's been his one thing throughout his career. I just don't see how they're going to be able to guard a team for seven games. Obviously, they can outscore anybody. They can, score out the gym. But defense is important, Hunter, and we both know this. Defense is half the game, and right now they're not playing good defense. I can't have them going far in the playoffs.
Yeah, first off, rest in peace, Kobe Gianna. This segment's for you. Second off, though, you're right about the defense. Their defense is doo-doo. They're really bad, and I think they'll pick up some guys potentially. I heard they could get a JaVale McGee from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now they got Jared Allen, so that could be a potential move off the bench to pair with DeAndre Jordan, the man, the 5 position there. But that offense is crazy, though, in Brooklyn. I mean, you have 3 top 10 players, 3 top 7, 8 offensive guys. I think they'll at least make the Eastern Conference Finals. But a guy who I think is going to be gone, that's Lonzo Ball. He's not going to be a Pelican. That's my prediction. He will get traded at some point before the trade deadline. For one, he is averaging below 40% shooting from the field, below 30% shooting from 3, and below 60% shooting from the foul line. That's got to be the worst shooting in the league. Like, he's making Ben Simmons look like Steph Curry out there, for crying out loud.
You had to bring him up, huh?
I had to bring him up. It hit a soft spot there for you, I know. But Lonzo Ball, they did not sign him long-term for a reason, because they want him to prove it. And even going back to the bubble, he has not been that good. He has been disappointing. And they got guys like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and they got Kyra Lewis there too, 2 young, promising guards. And Lonzo Ball, I think he's going to get moved somewhere else. I just don't think he fits there.
Well, gentlemen, those certainly are some bold predictions, and it will be interesting to see if they are slam dunks or air balls. That's all for this edition of Penn State Sports Night. For Hunter Pitcoff and Matt Szczypiorski, I'm Lexy Leidlein. Thanks for watching, and have a great night. Thank you for watching this edition of Penn State Sports Night. If you're a fan of our content, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more clips. Also, follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action. For all my colleagues, we are Penn State Sports Night.